At least we're not killing like real sentient people, but like, or maybe people who don't deserve it. I don't know. Hey there. So today we're doing another review. This one is not gonna be a movie review. It's gonna be a cartoon review actually. Uh, I'm watching Rick and Morty. So this is episode 7, episode 4 of season 7, the one that just came out. And I decided to just like start this little review because I'm only like halfway through, and this episode is so fucked up. Like, I'm gonna have to put that up in post. But yeah, so I don't know this. Okay, I'm gonna do the little beginning, and I'm gonna tell you like halfway if I'm about to spoil it, because yeah, I don't know. It's something that you need to watch. I guess I'm gonna try to. Okay, first let me elaborate about Rick and Morty. So Rick is this super like crazy scientist who's modeled after the dog from Back to the Future, and he managed to create a machine that lets you take portals to parallel worlds. And I mean, that's kind of like an excuse for the writer of the show to do whatever they want, because in parallel worlds it's just like whatever people can imagine, it just happens. So um, he goes in all those parallel worlds with his little nephew. No, it's not nephew, grandson, Morty, and a lot of cool. I mean, I've been watching this show like since the first season, and it's really interesting. Like, it's very very creative. Like they just put so many weird ideas into those words here. Like, and the thing is, like, they really go like as crazy as they can be. Like things that don't actually make sense, and then they actually like switch between people. Like okay, so there's no Morty version in this different world, or there's another like Rick version in this different world, and so they have different version of the same person in different worlds. Very very interesting. Now this is the synopsis of Rick and Morty. Now I'm gonna get into the detail of this particular show, and then I'm starting to get into the spoiler session. So at the start, the Rick and the whole family are eating delicious spaghetti, like out of this world spaghetti. Like, they're all excited about it, and this is pretty good for the family, because they usually kind of bickering at each other, like being like very like, I don't know. I think it's gotten better in season 7, but in the beginning everybody hated Jerry, and everybody kind of hated each other. Well, not that much. Morty and Rick had a love-hate relationship, but they all like they're a little bit dysfunctional. Except like this, the beginning of the episode, they got all together with for the spaghetti, and then very early on, spoiler alert right now, we realize that Rick has been taking the spaghetti out of people, which so basically there's a like dead body lying somewhere in his basement, and he's grabbing some spaghetti out of it. So totally gross. And then Morty like discovers that by accident, and then he's as always completely shocked. I mean, at this point, whatever Grandpa Rick does, what is there to be shocked about? Like, it's always gonna be like something fucked up, right? So I said it again. Anyway, so well, so the actual story is that there's this planet out there in one of those parallel universe, I guess, where when people die, if they suicide, they turn into spaghetti. Only if they suicide, So if they got killed, if they got or by accident, or got murdered, or what else? Die of old age. That's that nothing happens. But if they suicide, then they become spaghetti. I mean, apparently very delicious spaghetti for Earth, where Rick and Morty they live. On that planet itself, they look all like humans. It's just that they have this particular thing when they suicide, they turn into spaghetti. I mean, there's no logic into that, but bear with me. So I just wonder, like, if that planet, on that planet, they actually eat try that spaghetti. Well, anyway, like they probably not, because like everybody on that planet, they're completely shocked at the discovery that, you know, this the food that comes out of people who kill themselves is actually delicious for some other alien planet. So it's likely that they never tried to eat that, and I don't know. After the revelation, I'm wondering if they actually tried, but perhaps not. But to that planet, it's absolutely disgusting, you know. And then once Rick go there, he goes to to one of the funerals because he kind of felt bad for the guy that for the people that they've been eating. And then you know, like it's like regular old funeral, but Morty just like decides to show up and say and talk to the people and say like, yeah, you know, I don't know this guy, but we ate him. So that was a big revelation for everybody, and everybody's shocked. And then he leaves the planet. But later he's well, okay, so he goes back to the family, and then everybody think that this is all disgusting to eat spaghetti from a dead corpse. So they're all like very disappointed, and yeah, that's it. But then Rick, I think Morty gets contacted again to come back to the planet, and it turns out like they kind of wanted to investigate this idea. So he goes to the White House of that planet. The president invite them, and there's like a whole like a bunch of scientists who kind of examine like Morty's behavior, and they interview him, and it's like Morty's like, yeah, it's somehow, you know, like there's spaghetti that come out of people is delicious, and they try to ask him, can you try to eat this one, and they say, oh, the person who died consented to this. They're okay with being eaten, you know, and they even show them the video of the person who was terminally ill and decided like, okay, I'm gonna kill myself because you know, I'm gonna die anyway, so might as well be delicious food for somebody, right? So I guess Morty goes along with it, and then he's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna try, and he eats, yeah, well, it's delicious, and then everything. And then before leaving, he say like, yeah, can I take it to go, you know? And then I guess something changes in Morty's mind. It's like, okay, I guess if they okay with that, if they completely agree to be eaten, then it's perfectly fine, you know. So that's the new thing. But now the planet has turned into some kind of weird dystopia where they really like make the environment so unhealthy that they kind of encourage people to be eaten, because now they have like this kind of economy where like they actually sell cans of those dead people who suicide themselves. So the goal is to try to make people suicide themselves, so that way they can sell more cans, and then they can they can grow rich, and they can help with the national debt or something like that. They can pay off the national debt. I just like kind of reminds me like, okay, I just had this saw this podcast about some of the Runtime Reverie guys talking about the national debt. I was just wondering like, wow, imagine like if this was gonna happen in US, you know, like, oh, we need to do something about our national debt, but actually when people kill themselves, you know, they make money for us, so let's just try to encourage that. So becomes a dystopia because it's it's making money for the government that people die by killing themselves. So yeah, now I'm at the point where like I'm midway, and then this is terrible. Like they ask Rick to find a solution, so Rick and Morty, and then like they try to work together to find a solution they work with the planet, you know, the government of that planet, to figure out, you know, they think like, okay, maybe we can try to find a way to still create that food without being unethical. And the first idea is like, okay, well, maybe we create a little isolated world where we clone people, and then the goal is to eventually like make them kill themselves and turn into food. So I guess it's kind of okay, kind of like you know, where we kind of cage all our chickens, you know, and then eventually they die, you know, like they get turned into meat. Wow, this is like totally a parallel like that, you know. Wow, this is a parallel on the food industry, you know, because like they were doing that at first, and they realized, okay, this is not good, because the clones, they seem to have like some kind of willingness to not be turned into food, and then you know, we see a scene where they actually kill themselves not kill themselves, they kill one another, so just so that they cannot be eaten, and they kind of like rebel against this whole idea. So that doesn't work. And I'm at the point where they actually got even worse idea. I don't know if it's worse or it might actually solve it, but I don't know. But Morty was telling Crick, what if we make those like not completely people, but like half people, and then maybe they're still delicious, but you know, at least we're not killing like real sentient people, but like, or maybe people who don't deserve it. I don't know. This is terrible. Like the thing is, like, I have a guess that this is getting worse and worse. Not in terms of the show. This is like brilliant idea, but in terms of the morality of this show, I think this is getting worse and worse. So that's why I stop halfway, and then we're gonna continue this review like on the fly. Let's see. Okay.
Maybe we make them less
Come on.
how much of a people
Let's
do
go.
they have to be to
What
become
the hell?
spaghetti?
Ooh, gray areas. My specialty. Subject 1. No frontal lobe, no empathy centers, otherwise the same physiology as a person. In life and death. So, no spaghetti. And there's this one.
So it doesn't work
Horrible,
because they don't
unnatural pain
actually
from the moment it's born.
Oh, jeez.
like smart enough to know that
So, I
they
didn't
kill
even
themselves.
bother to make it because I knew you'd take issue, even though you'd be doing it a favor by ending its life.
Fuck you.
You might want to examine the trolley problem at some point, Morty. Anyway, here's the last
Yeah.
one. Kept the brainstem, internal motor functions, but essentially just a headless, boneless torso.
It looks like a chicken.
There's spaghetti inside that?
Theoretically, yes. The problem is you know.
Could you, like...
They have to kill
What is
themselves.
that? What are you? Is this charades? Okay, are you making a
Kill
fist?
it.
Is that supposed to be a phone? Ah, fuck it. Just spell it out.
Kill
for
it.
me.
Maybe give them a claw-like hand so they can, stab themselves?
Oh,
All
they
you
get.
had to say.
Well, this is some
Okay, let's see.
solution you guys
So they
have
make
cooked
some
up.
kind of like, so they make some kind of gross creatures who have only purpose is to kill themselves. Oh, I knew this was gonna be morally abject. I don't know. This doesn't look like very tasty spaghetti. Well, I guess maybe it is because they've been like doing a whole chain of it. They still call it its people. I guess
Spaghetti!
it's people.
100,000 cans by the weekend. So let's fire up these chunky boys.
I guess they solved it. I mean, okay, let's pause for a second. Okay, now they have activists like going after it. Let's pause for a second because actually, like, I don't know, if you think about it, it's actually not that far worse than, like, man, I'm gonna turn into a vegetarian after this whole show. Like, this is gonna be terrible. But when I think about it, it's kind of on par with, the way we kind of grow the animals in cage and then eventually kill them, because I mean that's what it is, right? Or like like if like we grow meat in a lab, I guess in this case they need to have enough sentience to know that they need to kill themselves. Yeah, I think like the part that is problematic is that in order to become delicious food, they have to kill themselves, and like that's I don't know, that's weird. This is just a science fiction cartoon, so let's not get too serious about it. Let's just enjoy the show.
Fire up these chunky boys.
Torso's right. So some people, they complain about the right of the torso, and then the other people complain about the taste of the spaghetti.
Yourself up?
Yeah, but if you want to do
You
it...
clearly have a morally superior position, so please go ahead.
You just want me to kill myself so you can eat the spaghetti, right? Fucking alien piece of shit!
Yeah.
Look you!
Oh wow, so many people love that spaghetti. It must be so delicious.
They say they're out of spaghetti.
Then let's go down there and make some.
Kill yourself. Kill yourself.
Kill yourself. Oh my gosh, they try to. Oh, they're gonna run out of people. If they
Divert
keep.
half of the armed patrols to civil unrest, the other half to planetary defense. Take every action necessary to restore order.
Still didn't hear much diverting towards mental health care.
The brainstorming is over, you ghoulish little corpse-eating alien. You've helped enough.
Fuck! We owe so much spaghetti to so many planets that we're all going to have to kill ourselves.
Slow down, so can't we still try that?
I mean, is there anyone else left who might want to kill themselves?
There's one, but good luck.
2 months to live. Bedridden. Terrible pain.
Whoa. Why hasn't he done it yet?
Fuck
Hey!
you, spaghetti child.
What gives?
Now they try to do the solution of synthesizing the food, which I guess that would have been a good idea from the beginning.
Integrity means living with pain.
What if I told you this would end the spaghetti trade forever?
What do you mean?
I'll explain on the way.
Damn, this show, I guess this turned into like a reaction reaction video.
Have a, like a
Who cares?
destination
We just keep
fever
going.
Ready to go?
It's just a place.
Wait, this is gonna be a very long video.
Stop!
Who cares?
I have a solution to get you all spaghetti. We're gonna do this one last time. This guy here, he's gonna do the deed, and I'll synthesize it. This is the Kitty Hawk of our Wright brothers flight, or the fill in the blank from your fill in the planet. Now, Fred, just think about your life. This machine will put
This
it
is
on
kind of
screen for
interesting.
everyone to
So,
see.
because
When
they
you're
ran out of
ready,
spaghetti, I
push
guess
the
they have to
button.
at least kill one guy, and then he's gonna be like on display for everybody. It's kind of like a sacrifice. I don't know if it's
Do you think this is
works that well. Well, I guess killing themselves is killing themselves, man. Oh. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be like very emotional for people to watch. I think they realize like, wow, this guy's. Man, when you watch somebody's entire life, you know. I mean, I know, you know, it makes you emotional because you realize, you know, everybody's going through all like huge life. Maybe it's just the music. So I guess he. So I see his girlfriend and he's eating the jam. Report card F. He's not very good in architecture. Well, he has a huge life. Now he hooks up to a new person. Oh, then he's feeling bad about himself, I guess. And he's getting back with his ex, you know. Oh. And he go meets her. Oh no, she rejects. Oh no, he goes back with to his parents until they die both. Oh, and then. Oh, and then he's back to his passion about architecture. You know, he's playing with the toys. He creates Legos. Wow. Oh, and then that's a genius idea. So he gets very successful, and he's, wow. Friend book, and then he wants to check out his friend again from the past. Oh, and they become old. Oh, she had family. Then they share the good memories, and then they, you know. Oh. Well, I guess they want to end up together, and then she leaves her husband. Okay. Wow, that's divorce. Yeah. So I guess she divorced from the old person, and why am I describing all this? You know, I guess. You know, you better. This is completely spoiler, okay? You really should watch the show. Oh, then his wife died, and then he's alone again, and then oh, he's eating the jam again. I guess his spaghetti is gonna have like a little jammy taste, and let's see. At least hopefully, like spaghetti comes out of it, and he's dying happily, suiciding himself and dying happily. This is a good ending. Okay, let's see. At least if there's no spaghetti. Oh yes, spaghetti there is. Let's see if it's delicious. Come on, I would totally eat that. Why are they grossed out by that?
Well, fuck.
I think I can speak on behalf of my people. We've had enough spaghetti.
You did it, didn't you? You couldn't change everyone's taste buds, but you could make it just tasteful. It wasn't the death, was it?
It was the complexity of life.
God, what was the point?
You're asking whether this was a story about right and wrong.
What?
The answer is, I don't care.
So what do we do?
Cells consume, Morty. Life itself is wrong, and that means death is right. but you can't side with that. So you live, even when it means eating. And Fred here really did it well.
The hell is this? Where is this spaghetti?
Yeah.
Why don't you go fuck yourself, Summer?
What?
What's wrong with Salisbury?
The best Salisbury steak I've ever had. Is it actually Salisbury
So let me
steak?
pause for a bit.
Do you want to know or not?
Thanks.
I guess let's just rush into the end. Towards the end.
Whatever you say.
Seriously, I'm not kidding. I won't tell you, but I need you to know the truth is horrible, so that if you ever find out an accident, you can't blame me.
Now that's a deal.
Yeah, honestly, if you never
And then they don't want to know anymore.
I'll say forever.
Good ending. Huh? What the hell?
That's where vacuum cleaner bags come from.
Oh my god.
That's interesting, but I don't really get it. Oh shit! So a lot to unwrap here, but let's think about the ending. At the end, they watch the whole person's entire life, and they decide that they don't want to eat it. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind, you know. Well, it's still food, you know, and then the guy is dead, so what does it change? I mean, the thing is that, no, it's not that I wouldn't mind, but, you know, if I was already, like, okay with eating, you know, food from people who kill themselves, then what does it change to know the whole life, the whole person's entire story? Well, I mean, the whole idea is that turning the world into this kind of dystopia, that's not very good, you know. Like encouraging people to kill themselves just so we can get food out of them. Yeah, that's pretty, yeah, I don't know. That already did that for me, you know, but actually it's just that after that whole part, I was trying to put myself in their mind and then thinking like, okay, well, what does it make it different that you know that the guy had a good life and everything, and then, you know, had like, yeah. Okay, what else to unwrap, like, think about? Yeah, at the end, so they're all eating the food, and then they do not want to know where it came from, you know, and then, like, it's a little bit of parallel on society, you know, like, I mean, you know, like, I think the more I mean, it's not very good to say, but the more we learn about the way the food is created, is processed and everything, and like, the more likely, like, you're not gonna want to eat it, you know, like, I think. And is it good to be ignorant about it and just let it go, or you know, do you really need to, like, know, and then you have to change something, and then yeah, you know, there's like two parts. I don't know if there's like any moral implications about that, or any but, you know, I have to say, like, yeah, sorry, yeah, but I choose to kind of ignore, like, what's happening behind the scene. And, you know, if there's like documentaries about food where they actually show how the animals get killed and processed, and yeah, like, I think I happened to watch a few of them a few times, and for a little bit of time, like maybe a week or a month, maybe I kind of avoided eating chicken or beef. But after that, it just passed, you know, like, I'm just kind of like, okay, well, let's just choose to ignore it, and then just, yeah, just blank it out of my mind. So, will I be eating meat after I watch this show? Yeah, because, I mean, it's not related, right? You know, the things, I'm just giving myself excuse because, you know, I enjoy eating meat, sorry, but that's the way it is. But, yeah, eventually I think maybe society will evolve, and perhaps, like, we no longer need to eat animals. But then what will happen to animals? Like, if we don't need chicken anymore, are they going to disappear? If we don't, like, the same, like, you know, before the car was invented, we needed horses, so they really thrive, and then now we don't need them anymore, so they don't thrive as much. So, I don't know, lots to think about, you know, and this is not channel to discuss about morality, you know. It's just to enjoy like stupid shows like this one, and then I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.